Okay, word of the day then. What a palavra is my language vocabulary. I say grammar, but I don't really sneak much grammar in. And I got into some grammatical trouble yesterday on Facebook, talking about, whether I would use the word who instead of whom. And oh, for goodness sake, all these people who seem like they're living in 1950s Britain, to whom it may concern, are on me like, it should be whom. I'm sure it should be whom, not who. And it was nothing to do with the question I was asking. They're just sort of being grammatically correct about it. So, okay, I've changed it now. But yeah, I'm coming back to what a palavra. I can't claim to be a grammar expert, I don't suppose. And I probably won't do that much grammar. I'll do a little bit of Portuguese grammar, but I'm just going into basic words and phrases and things of interest that connect the language to the culture, which I think helps get it in the muscle and helps us learn. So let me just take the camera back, and we'll start talking about Fica Bem. Fica Bem. And I'm always open to my pronunciation being challenged. Okay, Fica Bem means, well, it literally translated, it means get well. And I saw this I was watching that rom-com with Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jack Black, and the other fellow whose name escapes me now. Oh, for heaven's sakes. But it's called The Holiday. And it's a rom-com. And I thought, I'm not going to watch this. And then ended up watching it, or some of it anyway. And Mrs. M really liked it. And it's a nice little story. But it's a really good way to learn Portuguese is to have those movies on that that you've seen before and that you're following in English and you see the Portuguese subtitles. And I really like that because I find it a really good way to see if I'm keeping up. And I'm learning. I'm getting a vocabulary boost by watching the Portuguese subtitles. And then I saw as maybe Jack Black is saying goodbye to Kate Winslet. Says take care, and it says on the subtitles Fica Bem. So I think I'm going to use that on the show. I'm going to say take care as Fica Bem. I translate it on Google Translate, and it says get well. Now, very, very kindly, the people on Pure Portugal came to my rescue. And I posted up yesterday, Portuguese people, does Fica Bem mean get well or take care? And that thing you say to kids, which is Porta-te Bem, that's behave, isn't it? And so here's some extra value for you. We are talking about Fica Bem, F-I-C-A-B-E-M, as in Tudo Bem, okay? And that's a lovely thing, here in Portugal. And it's something you can't really pick up, as far as I'm concerned, in the language books. You see someone in the street and you go, Tudo bem? And they say, tudo. They don't say tudo bem or muito obrigado, você, necessarily. But the kind of colloquial, just quick exchange in the street is really lovely. Tudo bem? Tudo. Fabulous. And it's the same word, bem. Okay, Fica Bem does mean, according to all these lovely people, stay well, or a kind of euphemism for at the end of a conversation for take care, stay well, gotcha, see you later sort of stuff, Fica Bem, a nice sign-off at the end of a meeting or an interaction of some kind. And Porta-te Bem, which we were taught as well, is what you say to kids, like behave yourself, but not in a kind of authoritarian way. It's just like, be good, be good, another sign-off with kids. But they also say, all these lovely people, Bert and Ilda and Indra and Lola and Lena and Joss and Sandra and Malu and Ivan all chipped in to tell me variations and affirmations of what I'm talking about. So Porta-te Bem is be good. And Sandra, for example, says, hey, it's true, but don't say that to a random person. So it's kind of, be good, but if you can't be good, be careful, sort of thing you might say to your mates. Or don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you want to know what get well is, it would be as melhoras. As melhoras is the way, which I thought Fica Bem meant get well. Actually, no, it means take care, be well. And if in the context of somebody not being very well or poorly and you want them to get well soon, you say as melhoras. So there you go. Fica bem, tudo bem, porta-te bem, and as melhoras we've covered there in our little What a Palavra feature. I hope that's useful. And I just find it fascinating. I really like the angle of mixing up, what you see in colloquial use of language rather than what you see on the dry page. And obviously you need dry pages, you need to build your vocabulary and so on, and know what the theory is. A bit like, great piano players, they need to know the music theory and the scales, but they go off and improvise, don't they? And I just particularly love the improvising and finding out what's going on when real Portuguese people speak to each other. So there you go. That's our What a Palavra today.